Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Rick Welts. I'm President, Chief Operating Officer of the Golden State Warriors. I want to welcome those of you who are here in attendance and also those who are watching today's news conference on Warriors.com, on NBA.com, on CSNBayArea.com. We've got our friends from Adidas here today, and we're really proud to be partnering with them on a real innovation in our sport today. I think you all know that innovation is really ingrained in our culture, the Warriors culture. We really pride ourselves on providing our young team and our fans that we know are the best fans in the NBA with the most progressive technology and style. And today we're going to take another step toward our goal of becoming the most progressive franchise in the league, both on and off the court. I want to first start by welcoming the Vice President of Adidas Global Basketball, Lawrence Norman. Welcome.
Thanks, Rick. Hello, everyone. As the official outfitter of the NBA, this is a great day for Adidas. At Adidas, we're all about creating products that help athletes perform better, and this is a perfect example of that. Today, we're here to unveil the Adizero short sleeve NBA uniform system. This is the lightest uniform in the history of the Golden State Warriors franchise, and we're going to unveil the first ever modern-day short sleeve NBA jersey. It's a lot to talk about today, so let's get right to it.
Well, first I want to introduce this young man to our left. Not only has he made a big impact on our basketball team, but he's going to be representing the Warriors this weekend in Houston in the Rising Stars game, All-Star Weekend. Welcome, Harrison Barnes.
Thanks for having me, Rick.
And this young man to my right needs no introduction, so I'll make one anyway. 1988 NBA Rookie of the Year, in his 17 seasons, top flight point guard in the NBA, finishing third in career assists all time in the NBA. More importantly to us, gathered here today, he's our second-year head coach and leading this young team to the playoffs. So welcome, Mark. Glad to have you here today.
Well, thanks for having me. Just like Harrison said, and I remember when you used to do that with notes. Impressive.
Okay, it's going to be like that, huh? Okay, all right. Before we show you the new uniform, it's probably important to take a little bit of a look back, get a perspective on how the evolution of the jersey has happened in the NBA. You know, really from the league's inception through the 70s, the uniforms were made out of cotton, polyester, satin. The 80s saw more technology, and the 90s really presented more innovation with a lot more modern materials. Then Adidas began its official partnership with the NBA in 2006, right, Lawrence?
Yeah, 2006, it was a great moment for us. We view the NBA as the greatest global sports league and an incredible innovation platform. We've done a lot of innovations with the NBA, and the big one was in 2010, 2011, when we launched NBA Revolution 30. It was a new uniform for all 30 teams, and it was about 40% lighter than any other uniform. It dried twice as fast. It was made out of 60% recyclable fabrics. It was really a true innovation. We've come a long way since those cotton poly days, and Coach Jackson, you played in the NBA 17 years, and you've seen the progression from the old school uniforms to today. What's the biggest difference you see?
Well, to me, I'm glad we didn't go back to my pitches. Let's stick with Wilt and the rest of the crew. But it's much more comfortable. You talk about the fit. Guys, listening to the reaction of the guys, very excited about the fit, very excited about the style. And I can tell you, because I actually put it on myself and tried to do some running, it makes you quicker. I think I would have, you wouldn't have been able to label me as a slow player. I really think the old jersey slowed me down to some degree.
It's possible, but the most important thing is that the comfort of these jerseys help the performance of the players, which is great. And it's all about innovation, and Adidas is an innovation company. It's in our DNA, and Rick, it's really in your DNA as well, in your past with the NBA. Founding All-Star Weekend or being part of the marketing of the Dream Team in Barcelona, 1992, and now you're here with the Warriors in San Francisco and in the Bay Area, and this is the right place to launch an innovation, isn't it?
Well, I think when Joe Lacob and Peter Guber bought this team just about 2 years ago, I think this is the kind of day that they envisioned for this franchise. We've all been challenged, the basketball side of the business, the the business organization, really been challenged to be leaders in creativity, technology, and figuring out where this whole thing can go.
It's funny that we came down to meet with Joe and Peter. We met with them separately. And that first meeting with Joe went great. Bob Myers was there, and it was very positive. But Joe wanted us to meet with Peter and tell him the story. So we met with Peter, and he's a Hollywood icon. He's got his own way of doing things, and we started to present to him. In 10 seconds into the 30-second pitch, he said, stop. We're burning the boats. We're in. He got the vision right away, and I get chills now, and we got chills at that point because we knew the organization was behind it. It was amazing, and the most important thing is that we need players to sign off on this, and that process began. And Harrison, you were one of the first players to see this with Steph. And before I get into that, you're having a pretty great rookie year. And tell us about your first year experience with the Warriors.
I couldn't have asked for anything more. I mean, just to come to this team and, feel my way out through the NBA. I mean, to have a coach like Coach Jackson, to have, good vets, like Jared Jack, Steph Curry, David Lee, to have, good teammates, like Clay and my other rookies, Draymond Green, Kent Bazemore, and Festus. And I couldn't imagine this. I mean, winning games, being here in, such an exciting atmosphere, it's just been great for me.
Well, it's been a fantastic season, and today we have a big moment, and you're part of that, especially since you were one of the first guys to see this. So without further ado, the Adi short sleeve uniform system. You ready? You look good. How you feel?
The jersey feels good. I know a lot of guys, shoot with T-shirts on during practice. I do myself, so, the fit is real easy. It fits like a glove and doesn't restrict your shooting at all.
That first meeting we had with you, he came to the meeting in a suit. I'm not talking like a warm-up, like a really nice suit. And it's unusual. But we knew right then that you had this style, and this jersey also has style. Just imagine that it can change the way players look on court forever, and the way the fans come to the Oracle Arena to cheer on the Warriors forever. What's it like in your rookie year to be part of something so historic?
I can't even put it into words. I mean, not only the success we're having, on the court, but, just to add this new element. Obviously, when I came to this organization, I knew this ownership group, wanted to do, innovative things. They wanted to be, forward on that front, not only on the court, but what we did off the court as well. So just to be, a part of this new, T-shirt uniform, it's great.
And we've talked about this before. Short sleeves are not a trend that started today. Unfortunately, I play at the rec level now. And 9 out of 10 guys would come to the gym in short sleeve T-shirts. And even NCAA, more players are starting to wear T-shirts underneath their uniforms. And at the NBA level, it may not be legal to wear a T-shirt under your uniform now, but in practice, we're seeing more and more players wearing T-shirts under their practice uniform. So what's been your experience with short sleeves?
I mean, a lot of guys wear not only short sleeves, but they always wear compression underneath the uniform. So I think what's different about this uniform is when you sweat, it doesn't weigh you down. When you're shooting in with a T-shirt, a lot of guys do work out with T-shirts before games. When you start to sweat, when you start to, really get into the workout, it starts to weigh you down a little bit. But the way this jersey is designed, it doesn't weigh you down at all. You're able to still shoot, you're able to still dribble and move, longer into the workout without feeling it.
Well, that's good news. And there have been short sleeves in the NBA, believe it or not, a long time ago, and these are comfortable. But these sweaters they wore in the 1940s, I think they weighed more than the players that actually wore them. Do you think you could wear this sweater and that belt on court for 48 minutes?
Coach Jackson, I don't know how you guys did it, man, back in the day. I mean, I don't know if I could have done that.
And substituting for Harrison Barnes, it's very good.
Well, no matter who's playing or subbing in, the most important thing is today's uniform that we're presenting. And Coach Jackson, you've had a lot of experience at practice, talking to players and seeing them play. What's been the feedback so far?
Well, my concern early on was the comfort zone of the players. How did they feel? I understand how special it is for the league and for Adidas, but what we wanted to do is make sure that our players had the best. And once we had an opportunity to practice in it, to shoot around in it, to defend in it, the guys were raving about it. So that really put a stamp of approval on it. And this organization, led by Joe and Peter, our front office, obviously Rick, they've been committed to doing things right. They wanted to make this a brand, wanted to make it unique, and wanted to make this franchise special. And this really goes hand in hand with what the vision of this team has been. So it's something that we're really excited about.
Great, as are we, and let's talk a little bit about the product. First of all, we incorporated a 360-degree stretch fabric around the shoulder for maximum motion and flexibility, actually similar to a tank uniform. The short is a woven, it's super lightweight, and provides the athlete maximum ventilation. And like the Revolution 30 uniforms we launched in 2010, 2011, it's also 60% sustainable materials. Now, Harrison, you've practiced in the Revolution 30 uniform all year. You've been practicing in this new uniform in practice. So what is the difference between the two?
It's so much lighter. I mean, I think the jersey fits so much more snug. The shorts are so much lighter that, when you're playing, you don't feel it as much. A lot of things that, we as players were concerned about was, would it restrict our shooting? Would it restrict, our motion at all? With these new shorts, would they be, too thin? Would they get in the way at all? But once you start to get up and down the court, once you start to play, you don't notice it at all. And it's just like you're, shooting in, a compression shirt. It's nothing different.
Yeah, players are asking us for lightweight all the time, and this uniform is 26% lighter than the current uniform. I mean, if lighter equals faster, and this is the lightest uniform in the history of the Warriors. It's been a fun process along the way, and it feels like just yesterday when we started this.
Well, you talked about the first meeting you had with ownership, but I think a great result is usually the end of a great process. And really, for over the last year, we've been working with your development team. We took a trip up to Portland to meet with the whole Adidas development team. This summer, our equipment managers had prototype product that our players could wear, get comfortable with, have input on, and then really at the first week of training camp, you came up, we all met with the entire team, and I think the result that we have now is really a terrific one, but it is a result of that two-year process.
Yeah, it started in August 2011, that's when the ownership meetings took place, and since then we've had designers and developers come down here, really starting from February of 2012, working closely with the team, the organization, the coach, the players, practice all through the summer. So to get buy-in, it was a long process, but worth it. And how do you get buy-in from in a big organization from the top all the way down?
Well, I think, we have an organizational philosophy here that definitely was in play whenever there's a significant thing that represents how our fans perceive the Warriors. Our basketball operations department is going to have a lot to say in how that comes about. That starts with Bob Myers, starts with Mark. But we have some, pretty decent basketball knowledge in the organization. People like Jerry West. When there's a big decision like this to be made, the entire basketball operations department participates. And like I said before, I think it ends with a really great result.
So everybody's on board with the innovation, but basketball is really unique in that it's all about style as well. And these are the best athletes in the world that demand incredible innovation on court, but the style element sometimes equally as important. And this jersey's got style, but the iconic logo of the Warriors is one of our favorites in all of sports, and it's only getting better for this alternate jersey.
When you look at the jersey itself, I think there's some things that really jump out at you. First and foremost is the Warriors word mark, which is really proudly displayed in a very, very prominent way right on the chest of the jersey. And then you move to the shorts. And on the side of the shorts, that new spear icon, which really evokes the image of a warrior. And the pinstripes aren't pinstripes. They're really representative of the cable on the Bay Bridge. And the Bay Bridge is important to everybody in the Bay Area. It's not only symbolic, but literally is what connects the East Bay to San Francisco. And we are the Bay Area's team. It's an important component of the design.
You can imagine here in the Oracle Arena when fans come here in the short sleeve jersey, it's really going to change the environment of the game in many ways.
Well, we all know it's going to look sharp on Jared or Clay or Harrison, but the really good news is that guys like me, who when they try to put on that tank top, you kind of turn your eyes away, at least we're going to have a really good alternative. I think fans are going to be lining up to show their support for the team in a really nice new short sleeve alternate jersey.
Yeah, I grew up in Boston and have friends like Murph and Sully that should not be wearing a tank top without a t-shirt underneath. I'm with you. This is a good thing.
Well, we are really excited to be the team that has been able to work with Adidas to bring this new technology forward and with the NBA. I think it really is reflective of the style of our players. I think it's also kind of a shout out to kind of the spirit of the Bay Area too. It's about creativity. It's about innovation. It's just another in what we hope is a long line of innovations still to come. So, Mark, what do you think it means for this team?
Well, the promise initially was to be the best, to win. And obviously we want to win on the floor, but that's not enough for this franchise. We want to be the stylish, the most complete ones on and off the floor. And I think it's a win-win. And now I finally realized why Harrison was lifting weights today, doing push-ups. He knew he was going to be modeling. But I think the fans are going to embrace just how great the team looks.
Well, we can, those of us with a little gray hair can talk about the history of the game and talk about the history of the evolution of the uniform. But Harrison, you really represent today's NBA. So what are your feelings about the jersey?
It's just different. I mean, it's something that it's never been done before in this era. It's something that I feel like is innovative, and obviously, it's going to be hard for people to embrace this up front. But I think that as time goes along, I think it'll pick up. I think it'll catch fire. I think that people will really learn to embrace it.
Thanks. We're thrilled to be a part of this. We want you to be watching this on February 22nd when it debuts in our game against the San Antonio Spurs. We'll be wearing it 2 more home games, Friday nights this season, March 8th against Houston, March 15th against Chicago. So on behalf of Lawrence, Harrison, Mark, I want to thank you for being here, and be sure to be tuning in February 22nd, Warriors against the Spurs, ESPN, and CSN Bay Area. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.